We'll continue with the story.
Muhammad's mother, Amna, became pregnant immediately after the marriage, and then Muhammad's father died while she was pregnant. Abd al-Muttalib, Muhammad's grandfather, had a son from his wife, Hala, who was named Hamza. Hamza was 4 years older than Muhammad, even though Muhammad's father died after living only a few months with Muhammad's mother. Therefore, his son, Muhammad, could not actually be his son unless Muhammad was inside his mother's womb for 4 years. One might ask this question: how did we know that Hamza, Muhammad's uncle, was 4 years older than Muhammad?
We're going to get the answer for this question in the next slide, but let me repeat what we have said here. Muhammad's father and Muhammad's grandfather married 2 ladies in the same night. Muhammad's father, Abdullah, died few months after marriage. Muhammad's grandfather had a son by the name Hamza. Hamza was 4 years older than Muhammad. It's easy to say they're both in the same age, or it's easy to say that Hamza was younger than Muhammad. But to tell me that Hamza is 4 years older than Muhammad, that's a problem. Because every month Hamza is older, that means Muhammad was inside his mama's womb for 1 more month. And if Hamza is 4 years older, that means Muhammad was inside his mother's womb for at least the same length of 4 years. Here is the answer to prove that truly Hamza was 4 years older than Muhammad.
The answer can be determined by knowing the age of the death of both Muhammad and his uncle Hamza. Muslim scholars say that Muhammad died 8 years after his uncle Hamza at the age of 63. If they were born at the same time, Hamza would have died at age 55. However, scholars also record that Hamza died in the 3rd year of the emigration at the age of 59. 59 plus 8 equals 67. Muhammad's age at his death was 63, which is 4 years younger. This proves that Hamza was born 4 years prior to the birth of Muhammad. Who then was Muhammad's father? Since it is impossible, except in Islamic science, for a woman to be pregnant for over 4 years, we must conclude that only Allah knows best, for no one knows for sure who Muhammad's father was.
Is this clear? Anybody need more clarification in it? You got it? All right, we'll move on. Next part is, maybe you think, wait a minute, this was in Muhammad days. Muslims don't believe in that because this could be some misunderstanding or miscalculation. The number did not fit right. Now here is the word of Allah in the Qur'an, and its interpretation by Muslim scholar supports the idea that truly Muhammad was inside his mama's belly for 4 more years. Listen to the verse of the Qur'an and its interpretation by Muslim scholars.
In an apparent effort to explain Muhammad's birth being so long after his father's death, Muslim scholars Ibn Kathir and al-Qurtubi agree that a pregnancy could be as short as 6 months and dispute over the maximum length between 2 or 5 years. This is in their interpretations to Quran chapter 13, verse 8. Allah knows what every female bears, and how much their womb lessens and enlarges, and with Him everything is by measure.
The verse is talking about the time of the womb being pregnant. Allah knows how less it could be or how large this time could be. The interpretation is it could be as less as 6 months, which is a joke because now we can have babies 3 or 4 months and they live healthy, strong, wonderfully with the high technology we have today with medical advances. Now, they say the longest could go up to 5 years. A mother can be pregnant for 5 years. Now, if Muslims are complaining about the idea that the movie said that Muhammad's mama was pregnant for 4 years, they need to remove this verse from the Quran. They need to remove the interpretation of it by the Muslim scholar. And they need to give us an explanation. How can Hamza, Muhammad's uncle, 4 years older than Muhammad, if Muhammad's daddy died just shortly after he married his mama Amna? That's a problem. And you may think, well, this is all old stuff. The Qur'an was written 1400 years ago, and maybe these Muslim scholars misunderstand the interpretations, they make a mistake. What if I show you what's happening in Egypt today? How do Muslim people in Egypt live in the year 2010? This case here, I believe, 2 years ago. Listen how Egyptians react to the same problem, even in our modern days.
Recently, in a video shown on YouTube on the gestation time of pregnancy, a question was asked of the Mufti of Egypt. A man went to Saudi Arabia for 3 years and did not have any sexual relations with his wife during his absence. Upon his return, she gave birth to a child, and when he asked her whose child this was, she said, "It is your son." Will he believe her? The Mufti responded, "According to Islamic law, absolutely."
I mean, 3 years, it's a long time. A man was away from his wife for 3 years. And the Mufti of Egypt, the Mufti in Egypt, if you don't know what it is like the Pope for the Catholic Church. His word is true and people believe it. And if he issue a fatwa, a decree, it's over, it's done. He obviously knows that's not his son. You can't have a wife cannot be pregnant for 3 years. But the Mufti of Egypt said, it is absolutely true. Therefore, don't argue with the Mufti, believe it. That's how much knowledge Muslims have in their head. They are literally living in the days of Muhammad, back 1400 years in the days of Muhammad, where they're riding camels. And they believe anything you can imagine. They believe drinking camel urine is a healer for many sickness, and they believe a mama can be pregnant up to 5 years.